All right, so we're going to take a deep dive today into this YouTube video I found, and it's all about side hustles and making money online.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so this video is throwing around some pretty crazy numbers, like earning $140 an hour,
Wow.
even millions from blogging.
Okay.
But, we're not here to say like, oh, yeah, this is totally legit or like, nah, this is totally fake.
Right.
It's more about really dissecting like the claims and the process, almost like a digital teardown.
Yeah, like a digital detective mission.
Exactly.
I love it.
So, it's fascinating to me how these videos, a lot of times they present like a very streamlined path to success. But, we're going to be looking at the strategies presented.
Right.
And we're going to consider like the potential of those strategies.
Yeah.
But also examine, the finer details and ask some critical questions along the way.
For sure. Yeah. Because, there's always more to the story, right? Like you see these big flashy numbers, but what's really going on behind the scenes?
Exactly.
So I'm excited to dig in.
Yeah, me too. So the video kicks off by talking about like choosing a profitable niche.
Okay.
And it really emphasizes using Google Trends and news
Got it.
to find like what's hot right now, what people are searching for, and especially in areas like technology, finance, and business.
Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah, like those are the areas where you could potentially make a lot of money online.
Right. Those are where the big bucks are.
Yeah. And the example they use in the video focuses on the tech niche.
Okay. So they're going very specific with the tech.
Yeah. And what's interesting here is they emphasize targeting niches known for like higher ad revenue.
Oh, interesting.
Which makes sense because, ad rates can really make a difference in your earnings.
Absolutely. If you're getting more money per click or per impression, that adds up fast.
For sure. But it does raise the question, right? Are these niches already like oversaturated?
Oh, yeah. That's a good point.
How does someone stand out and actually capture an audience's attention?
Right. Because if everyone's going for the same niche, it's going to be really hard to cut through the noise.
Exactly. And then the video goes on to like content creation.
Okay.
And they're really pushing the use of AI tools.
Interesting.
Specifically this one called SEO-writing.ai.
I've heard of that one.
Yeah, apparently it can generate all sorts of SEO-optimized content like blog posts, titles, keywords, even using live news data.
Wow, that's pretty advanced.
Yeah, and they even show like examples of it creating articles about a recent AI hack.
Oh, wow.
The new iPhone and Elon Musk's SpaceX.
So very like current events focused.
Yeah, very timely stuff.
Okay.
And this reliance on AI-generated content is a trend we're seeing more and more these days, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's like everywhere you turn, there's a new AI tool promising to write your content for you.
Yeah, for sure. And it's certainly efficient, but it does make you wonder about the long-term implications.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, can you really build a lasting online presence?
Right.
Fully on content that lacks a human touch?
That's the big question, right? Because at the end of the day, people connect with people.
Exactly.
So how do you make sure that your content still feels authentic and engaging, even if it's been generated by AI?
Yeah. And what about search engines getting wise to AI-generated content?
Oh, that's another good point.
Like there's a lot to unpack there in terms of potential risks.
Absolutely. Because Google and the other search engines, they're constantly updating their algorithms.
Right.
So if they start penalizing sites that use AI-generated content, that could be a huge problem.
For sure. And then the video moves on to setting up a blog using an AI-powered tool called ZipWP.
Okay, so they're really leaning into the whole AI thing.
Yeah, they are.
Interesting.
And then they get into monetization strategies.
Okay, so this is where it gets really interesting.
Right. So primarily they talk about Google AdSense for running ads on your blog and the Amazon affiliate program for promoting products.
Right. So two very popular ways to make money online.
Yeah. And they actually walk through the process of like finding affiliate products on Amazon.
Yeah. Like
incorporating those click here to buy now type phrases in the blog posts.
Gotcha.
And linking them to the product page.
So they're giving you like the step-by-step instructions.
Yeah, exactly. But the whole affiliate marketing thing always kind of makes me think about ethics.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, are you recommending something you actually believe in, or are you just trying to make a quick buck?
Yeah. That's a really important point because I think transparency and authenticity are so crucial in affiliate marketing. Otherwise, it can really damage your credibility with your audience.
Right. Like if people feel like you're just pushing products on them, they're going to tune out.
Absolutely. They're going to see right through it.
Okay. So now they've got the content. They've got the blog. They've got the monetization figured out. Now it's about driving traffic.
Okay, so how do they suggest you do that?
So they suggest two main methods. One is using a tool called FewFeed version 2 to automatically share posts in targeted Facebook groups.
Oh, interesting. So they're going straight to social media.
Yeah, and they even talk about leaving enticing comments and then DMing the link to people who show interest.
Okay, so it's a very proactive approach.
Yeah, it is.
Interesting.
Which makes me think about the role of social media in all of this, you know?
Yeah, for sure, because these days it's not enough to just have great content. You also need to be promoting it effectively on social media.
Absolutely. And the second method they highlight is creating short-form videos using an AI tool called Nivdeo.
Okay, another AI tool.
I know, right?
They really love their AI.
To promote the blog across platforms like TikTok and Reels and linking back to the blog in the video descriptions.
So basically repurposing the content for different platforms?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Which is interesting how much emphasis is placed on using different platforms and formats to reach a wider audience.
Right, because you got to go where the people are.
Exactly.
And these days people are everywhere.
They are.
All over the place.
But it also raises the question of how sustainable is this? You know, are you constantly chasing the next trend? Or are you building something with long-term value?
That's a great question because I think it's easy to get caught up in the hype of whatever's popular right now.
Right.
But you got to have a strategy that's going to last.
Exactly.
So I'm curious to see what they have to say about that.
Yeah. And finally, the video suggests repeating this entire process. Content creation promotion, the whole shebang every month.
Wow. So they're talking about a very consistent content schedule.
Yeah, it's presented as this system for generating consistent content and traffic.
Which makes sense because consistency is key.
Right.
If you want to build a following and keep people coming back for more.
But it does sound pretty intense, doesn't it?
Yeah, it definitely highlights the commitment required to build any sort of online business. It's not just about setting up a system and watching the money roll in.
Right.
You got to put in the work.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
From niche selection to AI tools to traffic generation.
It's a whirlwind of information.
It is a whirlwind.
But it's really fascinating to see how all of these pieces fit together. And I think it's important to keep asking ourselves as we delve deeper into this, what's the bigger picture here? What are the potential downsides or unintended consequences of relying so heavily on these automated systems and strategies?
Are we heading towards a future where online content is primarily generated by AI?
Yeah. And if so, what does that mean for creativity and originality?
Yeah.
And if so, what does that mean for creativity and originality?
It's almost like a philosophical question, isn't it?
Right.
The role of technology versus human ingenuity.
Yeah, exactly.
Where do we draw the line?
And then there's the ethical side of things, too.
Oh, yeah.
We touched on this with affiliate marketing, but it goes beyond that.
Right.
When you're relying on AI to create content and target specific audiences, there's a potential for manipulation there.
Right, yeah.
Are you genuinely providing value, or are you simply exploiting algorithms and psychological triggers to drive clicks and purchases?
That's a good point.
It's something to think about.
It's a fine line to walk, for sure.
It is.
And I think that's where the human element becomes so important.
Right.
It's about having that awareness of the ethical implications and making conscious choices about how you use these tools and strategies.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You have the power to decide how you're going to use these tools.
Right.
You don't have to just let them use you.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's about being responsible, not just for your own success, but for the impact you're having on your audience and the wider online ecosystem.
That's a good point. So going back to this video, it seems like they're presenting this very formulaic approach to online success.
Yeah, it's like a recipe, right?
Yeah.
Just follow these steps and you'll be rich.
But you've got to wonder, is it really that simple? Can you just plug in the right keywords, generate the right content, and watch the money roll in?
Yeah, I think it's important to remember that success in any field, especially online, requires more than just following a set of instructions.
Yeah.
It's about adaptability, creativity, being able to connect with your audience on a human level.
Right. It's like the difference between following a recipe and actually understanding the principles of cooking.
I like that. That's a good analogy.
You can follow a recipe to the letter and still end up with a mediocre dish.
Right.
But if you understand the underlying techniques and flavors, you can adapt, improvise, and create something truly special.
I love that analogy.